aim to do here is to show you each type of rifle, and yeah, what would sort of colour your judgment and make you sort of guide you into making the right choice for the type of air gun that you may need. So hope you enjoy it. Most people I know, myself included, we all started sort of at what we consider the basic end, and that is the break barrel air gun. As the name suggests, you're cocking it with the barrel like that. Your direct feed into the barrel there. You cock that all the way. You're compressing a big mainspring inside to generate your power, and that's how the system's going to operate. As I say, this one comes with open sights, which is a good way to learn the basics of shooting. These are always good sort of starter guns, and obviously then further down the line, if you choose, you can fit a scope. Most guns come with a scope rail now, so you've got all that built in there. But so yeah, the break barrel is a very good place to start. Moving on, the next logical step is thinking about a fixed barrel rifle. As you can see, you've got the fixed barrel there, and suddenly instead of the break barrel, you've got an underlever, which becomes your power source. So you're cocking the massive mainspring inside using that lever. Sometimes a side lever instead of an underlever, but it's all the same principle. A big benefit is the fixed barrel side. The downside, I would say, and this obviously if you're looking for juniors, that weight can be off-putting. Most fixed barrel guns are quite heavy, but there is also the safety aspect. If you see there, you've got, as you bring that lever back, you've got an open breech. So you cock the system and then you're putting your thumb in there to actually feed the pellet into the barrel. It's great to have direct access to the barrel, but as you can see, you've got a little bit of a safety issue there. Now, they have safety mechanisms built into these, but as you get more experience, then fixed barrel systems are probably the way to go if you can cope with the weight. It was Theoben that in the sort of early 80s came up with the idea of a gas ram. It's a gas ram unit used by BSA and Gamo, and that is basically sits inside the air gun behind the piston in place of the mainspring. So you've literally got that inside here, about there. And as you're this is obviously a break barrel gun, and as you're cocking the barrel and bringing it down like so, you're compressing is a sealed unit of gas, and it's air in front of that then powers the pellet. Talk about a lock time, the time between when you've pulled the trigger and the pellet leaves the barrel, and they can be overall a much faster lock time than spring guns. Does that make them better? Well, that's up for debate, and it does vary manufacturer to manufacturer. Some can be quite harsh, but it's a very sort of quick shot cycle. The average shooter, you can just pick up a pneumatic and shoot quite easily to quite a high degree. Principle is that you've got a cylinder. Obviously, your top tube there is your barrel, and then underneath is the main cylinder on this rifle. You get a whole lot of different configuration. A main cylinder there, and that is highly compressed air on board, and then you'll get from thereafter, all you've got to do is pull back a bolt, which is quite easy to do. So haven't got any of that cocking effort with a spring gun. You've got a small little bolt to pull back, or a lot of the more modern guns than my old 400 here, they've got a side lever, little side lever to cock the system, and thereafter you're either rolling a pellet in if it's single shot like this, or you have a magazine on board. So the actual cocking effort is negligible. Now, to fill this cylinder, you've got an air valve at the front there. I'd say it can be slightly different configuration depending on the gun. And there you can see you've got your main air valve, that's your inlet valve, and you have a pressure airline, a high pressure airline that comes from your power source, and that's going to be either a diver's bottle or a dedicated air gun pump. You connect that up, charge up to a prescribed fill pressure that the manufacturer will tell you, and thereafter you can take to the field either hunting or doing competitions, and you've got a designated number of shots. That can vary from a small cylinder that might only do 30 or 40 shots. This one would probably do 70 to 90 shots. It's that recoilless nature of the pneumatic that appeals and makes it so much easier to shoot. You've still got to do your bit, there's a whole raft of air pistols on the market, and if you go back to the spring power, and this is an old vintage Webley Junior, lovely little thing, very solidly made gun. With this one, you're actually cocking it like that way. That's the old sort of Stuart principle that they had, and then you'd load your pellet directly in there. But there's break barrel pistols, and yeah, there's various ideas. Pistol shooting is so much harder than rifle, but it can be great fun. There's a whole raft of sort of pneumatic type or recoilless air guns, should I say. Now you can get single stroke pneumatics, which has always been one of my favourite airgun principles. It's been very difficult for the manufacturers to get full power in 12 foot-pounds, but of course for pistols, where the quest for power is just not that so important, there's quite a few air guns which are single stroke as such, or 2 strokes, and there you might have a lever, you just pull it all the way back, and you're compressing a chamber inside, and you're doing it in 1 stroke. But then you've got others like this, which is a multi-pump, and these are the old Crossman. This one, I can just show you this. You've got the fore end is actually the pump handle, so you've got a little chamber inside. And just bringing that back, you can go up to, I believe it's 10 pumps with this. I'll just fire this off just to get rid of that. Then you just cock the system there, roll a pellet in and fire. There you go. But again, these are totally recoilless, or as near as damn it, and because of that, again, they're from a rest you can get surprisingly good accuracy. It's all self-contained, obviously, because you've got your power source on board, but you have got that effort. But final type of air gun that I wanted to show you today is the CO2 design. The market's now awash with some quite exciting little guns. The big principle for CO2 tends to be multi-shot and fast fire, and I would always say the emphasis is on fun with these, so you just don't expect the same sort of blistering accuracy you can get with some of the other air guns. There's the other ones with mainly sort of self-contained power sources. With this, you've got like the old soda streams used to use, a little CO2 capsule. These mainly use these 12 gram capsules. I'll just show you that. So you pull that off. This little pistol, it's a 12 gram CO2 capsule that's actually concealed within the grip. That then gives you, on this particular one, you've got sort of 40 odd shots. They can be sort of, you can get, depends how efficient the gun is, you can get sort of 80 odd, 70, 80 shots out of a little capsule. And then when it's run, you just undo the tensioner, take out your capsule, pressurise another one, and that pressurises the system. So you reload that, put that in there, and you've got your power sources neatly cycled away. Now with these also, they tend to be multi-shot, because you've got your power all sorted, you've got no cocking effort to worry about, so they tend to be multi-shots. Now this one's got a sort of stick style magazine. It's got 8 shots at each end. I think we can show this on a separate review, but it's just to show you often get a sort of magazine set halfway up the action, or different magazine systems, but they're very neat. Again, it's I was going to say the recoilless, but this one's designed to have a blowback system, so it actually simulates a live pistol, so there's a little bit of gentle kick as you fire. So it's quite exciting and good fun, as I say, more than a push for, you know, serious accuracy, but they can be great fun. Fast fire action is what it's all about with CO2. Again, they're some of them they do you can get sort of CO2 type rifles, which can be recoilless, but as I say, I would always see them more in the fun side. The thing to consider, and I'd always mention this, is the safety aspect. And a lot of CO2 guns only fire BBs, you want to watch that. It might be only BBs, or some are BB and pellet, but obviously BBs, ball bearings, really do have a propensity for ricochet, so always wear safety glasses and watch your backstop, and you know, just mind your safety, because it may seem a bit of low powered fun, but they can still cause surprising damage, and obviously your eyes you don't want to play with. CO2 is a lot of fun, so I hope you've found that informative, but yeah, there's a whole world of air guns out there, and failing that, get down to your local club and try some things. You know, that's the best way of doing it. Try before you buy, ideally, and get some sort of on the spot advice.